maybe. The day 2 picks have largely been hits. He's finding gems in the 3rd round, Tyke Smith, Jalen McMillan, etc. Maybe he's got another one, Ted Hurst, this year. But really, there's a headliner this year, and it's Ruben Bain. And this guy, Greg, has really put on a show so far. We saw the power during the rookie minicamp and the OTAs hitting the sled. Now he's got full pads on. He's hitting Luke Gedeke, and he's been impressive. He looks like he belongs in the NFL.
Yeah, it was neat. They put out, obviously they have odds on everything these days, but odds for defensive rookie in the NFL. One of the online sites literally has Ruben Bain as the favorite now to win defensive rookie of the year, which is crazy when you think that he went 15th overall. David Bailey, again, high draft pick. Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs. All these guys have longer odds than Ruben Bain. And I think part of that is just the way that he's been accepted here. The excitement for him hasn't faded. We've yet to have that day where it's like, wow, it just didn't look good today. He validates the optimism they have about him every time we see him. This was neat. It's like just to see the personality of him starting to come out like this. Yeah. We had the indoor practice 2 days ago. There's at least 50 people wearing number 3 Tampa Bay jerseys. Yeah. The friends and family.
All his relatives.
Yeah. All friends and family. He could have filled a section all by himself.
That's right.
Really neat to see them. Old people, kids and nephews. The following he has just in his own family strong. But then you look out in the crowd, there's people that have Bain jerseys now already that have number 3 jerseys as fans. There's an excitement. I don't know when we had a rookie come to Tampa here that had the excitement and the high level of even though it's 15th overall. This isn't Kevin White was a number 5 overall pick. There was certainly excitement with him. But it's been a while.
Maybe Jameis Winston for the Florida State fans. Maybe, but he's a quarterback. This is different. This is a different position rather than your face of the franchise. And I totally get that. And Rick, when you look at Ruben Bain and what he's able to do out there, I think the one thing that really impresses Todd Bowles, who loves those heady players, is the football IQ. It's the fact that he's not out there swimming and thinking about things. And, I love one of your famous sayings, greatness shows up early in players. And, like the exact opposite of that would be someone like, say, Chris Braswell, right? Who is basically a 2nd-round bust. He's quickly sliding down the depth chart, and 1.5 sacks during his rookie season, 1 sack last year. At no point in time has he really wowed us in training camp or the preseason, but that's not been the case with Ruben Bain. He has wowed us kind of on the regular with not just what he's doing against offensive tackles and tight ends, but just everything else. He's got a super serious demeanor. He sprints from drill to drill. He's all about ball. He's not, cutting up and clowning with the players. He's all business.
Yeah, well, I'm glad there's no hype about him. I worry that a guy like that might find those expectations a little big, but that's not Bain. That's just not his mentality. I think he embraces it. And he's obviously, those Miami guys, when you're raised there, football isn't, it's a little more than just a game to them. I mean, it's really a mentality, and he embraces that. And I think that he's humble enough to really want to learn from other guys, from the veterans. Him and Yaya Diaby, who hosted him at Louisville way back in the day, have formed a really fast friendship. And, oh, by the way, no one's more important to Yaya Diaby and his financial future than Ruben Bain, because all of a sudden Yaya Diaby won't have a tight end on that side, won't be getting chipped. They can go try to get, the other guy, number 3 over there, and let him try to run free. So he instantly makes this defense better. He's a dude. He's a difference maker. And yes, I don't think it's a stretch to say, and I'm not a betting man. I saw those odds and I went, whoa, number 1. But I think you say that about players like him. Defensive rookie of the year is attainable if he can stay healthy. But he's going to play. He's going to have some rough days too.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's going
to play against some grown ass men that that weren't on Indiana's football team in the national championship. So
that's right.
I just think that the other thing is his age, right? I mean, these guys are young, and let's not forget about Josiah Troder too, because that dude, when they put the pads on, Oh,
Yeah.
hello, football player.
Yes.
Hello, guy running downhill through gaps and bumping people backwards. Like, that's what you want to see from those two guys who are going to be foundational players for this defense. They're not sapping Brooks yet, Scott. We're not going to do that yet.
Yep.
But those positions, as you know, and one, he's not sapped because he played inside. But when you can get someone at that level, at every level of your defense, to play that way and have them for years to come, it's exciting.
I think one of the things too, when you look at Ruben Bain is we talk about Baker Mayfield having a chip. And I think this guy probably wakes up every day saying, I can't believe I was the 15th pick in this draft. I just think he's going to make the NFL pay for making him wait and have to snatch that hat, and become a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, much to the Buccaneers' liking, of course, with that. You mentioned Josiah Troder. And boy, did he show up when the full pads came on, right? I mean, 3 tackles for loss from what we counted at Pure Report, including 2 tackles for loss of back-to-back plays. He literally punched and jolted Justin's school, took him to school, and just basically erased him and went in the backfield and made a play. The power that you see there it's something. I mean, he's a bigger linebacker. And really, when you look at the linebacking core, we'll throw Alex Anzalone, who's 6'3", 234, and Christian Roseboom, who's 6'3", about 234 pounds as well. This is not Servassier Dennis, and company. These are some big dudes. And I know that Todd Bowles wanted to get a lot bigger along the defensive line, and he's done that. There are some absolute monsters. You see here Elijah Simmons and Jason Jones with Vita Vea, just to kind of give you an idea of how big we're talking here. And, of course, DeMonte Capehart is a big defensive tackle as well. But the linebacking core has gotten noticeably bigger too. And with Josiah Troder, Greg, I think the big thing that we're looking to see is the coverage ability, because that was a little suspect at Missouri. Now, keep in mind, he was a starter as a true freshman at West Virginia and then went to Missouri in his sophomore season. So 2 schools, back-to-back years. You got to learn another system. You're a young player, but I'm curious to see Troder in pass coverage. What are your thoughts on where he is in terms of his development? I love the fact that when you put him in drive, he gets downhill, but how can he play in reverse? That remains to be seen.
Yeah, I remember that was the right after the draft. That was the big question: is did they get another linebacker with coverage issues? And I reached out and talked to their defensive coordinator that he had at Missouri, and he made a point to say, if you watch his tape from last year, this is a linebacker who's in a new program and a new defense, and that whole defense needed about a month to find itself. But he said, if you watched, I think he said Kentucky was the 4th game, and if you watched his tape from then on, from week 5, week 6 on, just a different player, understood the defense, understood the coverage responsibilities, and he said it was flipping a switch. So I get why it's a concern, because there's some bad tape from the first month of last year. But Nicholson said that wasn't a problem in the second half of last season. And I think Todd Bowles has spoken to how well he's handled that part of it already. This is something they knew was a problem. Alex Anzalone, I think they probably thought was one of the best coverage linebackers of the free agents available. Yeah. You'll see him now, even we were watching in goal line, where, again, they put Cade Otton out in the slot. We have a big guy in the slot. He was comfortable stepping out and handling him one-on-one in coverage. I think there's a lot of room to grow from where they were last year. Mm-hmm. As much as we talked about Levante David and we talked about Servassier Dennis a year ago, linebacker is probably the position where they can be the most improved. Not because of injuries, just because of changing everything they have there and addressing some major concerns that were deficiencies in the middle of this defense.
And if they could stop the run, which I think they will do with the front 7, that allows Antoine Winfield Jr. now to be that chess piece, right? Allows him to come down and be that free rusher and do some things inside, the tackle box, as opposed to just being the literal deep center fielder.
And it allows Todd Bowles to really get in his bag too, just as a defensive play caller, right? I mean, he lives for 3rd and long rather than 3rd and medium or 3rd and short. It seems to me that Ted Hurst, after a really promising offseason, he's maybe, I won't say taking a step back, but he's kind of slowed down a little bit. He hasn't stood out as much this first week of training camp. We'll see how he progresses and kind of readjusts and recalibrates a little bit. But let's talk about another draft pick from Miami, Keontae Scott, who really, I think, has opened some eyes because he's not just playing in the slot.